You want to know how you can get rid of beliefs that hold you back from achieving your dreams and goals? Hey guys, I'm Kim and welcome back to the Higher Vibes Tribe community where we talk about everything law of attraction, mindset, and becoming your highest self. Today, we're going to be talking about getting rid of those negative thoughts and those limiting beliefs. This is so important because these beliefs hold us back from living that life that we truly want. And honestly, a lot of the time we don't even know that this thought that we're having is a limiting belief, and we don't understand the negative impact that is truly having on our lives. And honestly, in order to achieve our goals, we need to have the right mindset. I mean, no one ever became successful by telling themselves, I can't achieve my goals and dreams. And we need to get on the same vibe and the same wavelength as our desire, and we can't really do that by constantly telling ourselves that we're unworthy and we're not able and we don't have what it takes to achieve our goals and dreams. We need to be aligned and in sync with our desires, and how can we ever do that when we're constantly telling ourselves that we can't have them? So hopefully by now you're convinced that a limiting belief is something that you need to deal with as soon as possible. But what exactly is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is any belief, any system of thoughts that tells you you cannot achieve your goals and dreams. An example of a limiting belief would be, I can never be rich, I can never be happy, I can never get that job. Those are all limiting beliefs. It's basically any thought that tells you you cannot live the life that you want. So where do these limiting beliefs come from? A lot of the times, limiting beliefs can come from our family, things that we've seen over the years or things that we've been told over the years. A lot of the time, our past shapes our current beliefs about ourselves and shapes what we believe we can achieve in the future. For example, let's just say you grew up in a family where money was tight. Now, because of that, you have formed this limiting belief that you will also be living in a state where money is tight, where you will never be rich. That is an example of how a limiting belief can come from your family or your past situation. But let me tell you, your past does not dictate your future. Let me say that again. For those who didn't hear me in the back, your past does not dictate your future. So limiting beliefs might also come from your friends or the people that surround you. Let's say you have this crazy goal, so you tell your friends and then they tell you that they think you're not smart enough or cool enough or whatever it is to achieve that goal. So then you start to believe these things about yourself and form these limiting beliefs about yourself based on what other people said. And by the way, let me just tell you that those are not the people you want to have in your life. You want to have the type of friends where you tell them this crazy dream, and even though they don't know exactly how you're going to get from point A to point B, they don't care, they support you, and they tell you to go for it anyway. That is just another example of where these limiting beliefs can come from. And lastly, limiting beliefs can also just come from ourselves and our own insecurities. Let's say in the past something happened, that you were doing a presentation in class and you kind of messed up, and now you believe that you can never speak in front of crowds again because you're just not that kind of person. That's another example of where a limiting belief can come from. But honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where a limiting belief came from. All that matters is now that we identify it and reframe it into a new, more positive belief. But how exactly do we do that? But before I tell you exactly how to do that, can you guys please take a second to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification? I would really appreciate it, and it would help get this message out to as many people as possible. So how exactly do we get rid of these limiting beliefs? The first step is that we need to identify our limiting beliefs. We know what they are, but sometimes we have a little bit of difficulty noticing when they actually arise. So how do you identify a limiting belief? One of the easiest ways to identify a limiting belief is basically noticing how it feels. A limiting belief is probably not going to make you feel your best. For example, let's think about something you're good at, maybe basketball, soccer, painting, drawing, singing, whatever that is. Think about a time where you accomplished something great. Think about how it makes you feel. Maybe there's a smile across your face. Maybe you sat up a bit taller. Don't you feel that warm, fuzzy feeling inside? Just take a second to notice how this thought makes you feel. Now, I'm so sorry to do this to you, but think about a time where maybe something that you wanted didn't go so well, or you had a goal and then you told yourself that you couldn't do it. Maybe you believe that you're never going to get that job or get that dream career that you want or have that house that you want or that family you want. Think about that thought now. How does that make you feel? Maybe your smile has faded. Maybe you're slouching a bit. Maybe you feel it in the pit of your stomach. Maybe your heart has dropped a bit. Take a second to notice the difference in how this thought makes you feel. That is a great example of how you can identify a limiting belief. Probably not going to make you feel your best. Another way to identify a limiting belief is just to think about something that you want in your life, whatever it is. And when you have that voice, that thought in your mind that tells you that you can't have it, that is also a limiting belief. Basically, any thought that that tells you you cannot achieve your goals and dreams. Just take some time over the next little while to notice and identify whenever these limiting beliefs come up. And if you think you're not going to be able to remember them, just write them down whenever it pops into your head. So now that we've identified our limiting belief, we want to reframe that belief. But how exactly do we do this? So a lot of people talk about using positive affirmations and saying this over and over to yourself. So for example, if you think that you will never be rich, the positive affirmation to that is, I will be rich, I will be rich, I can be rich. And again, I'm not bashing this at all because it does work, and if that works for you, totally great. But I do find this process to be a little bit slow sometimes, because sometimes we do have reasons, and again, I'm not saying they're logical, but to us sometimes we believe these reasons as to why we can't achieve our goals or dreams. Let's say you want to be a successful entrepreneur and have your own business, but you believe for some reason that you can never achieve it. If I just told you to tell yourself, but you are going to be a successful business person, you would be like, okay, I am going to be a successful business person. I am going to be a successful business person. But you wouldn't actually be believing it. You would be full of doubt all the time. And that's not really how positive affirmations work. You actually need to believe it. So I think one step before doing these positive affirmations is addressing the reasons why we think we can't achieve our goals or dreams. Because some of our limiting beliefs have no reasons behind them, but a lot of them do have reasons. And again, I'm not saying they're valid, because they are not. You can have anything and everything that you want in this life. But if we take the time to break it down and address those beliefs, then we can fully believe those positive affirmations that we're going to say. Because if you're not fully believing and feeling what you're saying, then it's not going to work for you. It's not simply just about saying the words, it's about actually feeling them and believing them to be true for you. If you're simply saying it over and over again, but that feeling isn't genuine, then it really isn't going to work. So let's go with the example that you want to be a successful entrepreneur, but deep down you think it won't happen for you. Take some time to figure out why you think it won't happen for you. I know that you know the reasons, but you're telling yourself that you don't. I fully believe that we have all the answers to the questions we ask, but a lot of the time we just don't want to hear the answer that we know is true. So take some time, be honest with yourself, be critical with yourself, and ask yourself, why do I really think that I can't achieve my goals and dreams? Why do I think that I can't be a successful entrepreneur? And sticking with that example, maybe you believe that you can't be a successful entrepreneur because no one in your family has ever owned a business before. Or maybe you think you can't be a successful entrepreneur because you don't have the knowledge, or you feel like you don't have the resources, or you never went to business school. You have no idea how to do this, so how could you ever be a business owner? Write these reasons down, break it down step by step. Now, ask yourself, are these thoughts logical? So what if no one in your family has been an entrepreneur before? Why does what your family has or hasn't done dictate what you can do now and in the future? Or at some point, every family that has an entrepreneur, someone had to be the first entrepreneur. Why can't it be you? Haven't you ever been the first in your family to do something? Now you're telling yourself that you don't have the knowledge. I never went to business school. I cannot be an entrepreneur. But did everyone who has a business go to business school? Definitely not. Does everyone who owns a business know exactly what to do all of the time? Again, absolutely not. Do you have resources available like Google and YouTube? Aren't you watching this video right now to solve a problem? Oh wait, so you can solve problems you don't have the answer to. Oh, okay. So you might be able to actually figure things out when running a business and you don't know what to do. And maybe if other people can figure it out, maybe you can too. Break it down for yourself in a way that is believable to you. And I know this may be hard at first because we've gone so long holding and harboring this belief that it's uncomfortable to tell ourselves something different than what we've always thought. It is foreign territory to change. Go into it with the belief knowing that you can have and achieve everything that you want. You have all the resources and all the skills inside of you already. You just have to believe that you can achieve it. I always go back to athletes when talking about the law of attraction and limiting beliefs because I think they're just such great examples of people who came from not so great situations and made such a great life for themselves. So many of these athletes came from poverty. Their families never went to university. They had such unfortunate circumstances. They had all the reasons to believe that they couldn't achieve their dreams, but they told themselves no. They told themselves that I can achieve my dreams, I can be successful, I can be that star athlete, I can live that lavish life that I want. Because you cannot actually achieve something by constantly telling yourself that you cannot achieve it. I'll leave some links down below about athletes who do use the law of attraction and get rid of their limiting beliefs, so hopefully that just inspires you to see that this does work and you cannot be successful while harboring these negative beliefs. So now we have logically broken down all the reasons why our limiting belief isn't true. So now since we've taken the time to break down all all the reasons why our limiting belief isn't true, now we can fully believe it when we say that we can achieve our goals. We feel it more. We believe it more. Since we have taken the time to knock down those illogical reasons about why we can't achieve our goals, and now we know that we have everything it takes to achieve our goals and our dreams, I find that oftentimes it helps to write it down. So write down that limiting belief. Then write down all the reasons why you think you can't achieve your goal or dream. Now write down all the reasons why those beliefs aren't true. Then write your new, more positive belief about yourself. And sticking with the current example of becoming an entrepreneur, now that you've taken the time to knock down those reasons why you think you can't be that, you can write this new belief. You can say, I do have what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. Or you could say, I know I can have my own business because whenever a problem arises, I have the skills it takes to solve that problem. Write it down in whatever way feels positive and believable to you. And even if you don't fully believe it now, don't worry. The belief will come over time. Remember, we've held this limiting belief for so long, so it's going to take some time to reprogram that in our minds. But hopefully by now you feel just a little bit better about it. You have a little tinge of hope in there that, hey, maybe I can have the life that I want. You need to take inspired action. Actually do what we're talking about here. It's not enough just to watch this video. Actually do what we've talked about here. And over time, once you say it enough to yourself, once you believe it enough, that belief will become your new dominant belief. And don't worry if over time new reasons come up about why you can't achieve your goals and dreams. Just go back to the previous steps and take some time to knock down those illogical beliefs and reframe them with new, more positive beliefs. Do this anytime new reasons come up, and over time less and less reasons are going to arise. And over time you won't even be telling yourself these things anymore. You won't even believe that you can't achieve your goals. That won't even be a thought in your mind when you think about your wildest dreams. Because guys, it really is important to address your limiting beliefs. They get in the way of letting yourself live the life that you truly want. They get in the way of using the law of attraction. They get in the way of you manifesting your desires. Because in order to manifest and in order to achieve our dreams, we need to be on the same wavelength, the same vibration, the same energy as our desire. And we can't do that by constantly telling ourselves we can't have what we want. Allow yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself enough to tell yourself that you can have the life that you want. So the main takeaway I want you guys to have from this video is to know that your limiting beliefs are not true. Take the time to identify them, break down why they aren't true, and embrace your new beliefs. And over time, this will become your new dominant belief, aligning you and allowing you to manifest all of your desires, making your dream life a reality. So yeah, guys, if you found this video at all helpful, please like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, sending good vibes your way.